Mujib Rahimi. He also joins us from Kabul. He is, of course, the spokesman for Afghanistan's chief executive, Abdullah. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, listening to what Hassan was just saying there, it seems like so many Afghans are really just in an impossible position right now, whereby they need to vote to keep their democracy alive, but they're being told they can lose their lives if they go to the polls. So how much has the Taliban's campaign of violence, first of all, derailed this election and really the country's democracy?
The presidential candidates for 2019 presidential election concluded a successful campaign despite few security challenges. The security threat in the security environment is not new for the Afghan people and to the Afghan government. The people of Afghanistan have come out forcefully in previous elections and went to the polling centers despite Taliban threats and their attacks and suicide attacks in several provinces, including the capital. We are expecting a strong pullout and a strong presence of the voters on Saturday. You are right, there are security threats. The Taliban have threatened that they will attack polling stations all across the country. The government has taken the necessary steps to provide the needed security for the people of Afghanistan and for the polling stations to be safe in the election day.
Are they, though? Because we just heard from Hassan there that many areas have actually had to be closed because the government cannot guarantee their security.
There are certain areas in rural parts of the country which are under the Taliban control, and there are certain polling stations in these areas which is literally impossible for the government of Afghanistan to provide the right security for them. Or if the polling or the voting takes place in these centers that might create doubts and questions, in a joint assessment by the independent electoral commissions of the country and also the security establishment, the decision was made that certain polling stations remain closed.
Okay, and aside from that, I mean, the truth is there are so many claims of corruption in this election, as you heard, and of course meddling. We even have your boss, Chief Executive Abdullah, claiming that the incumbent, Ashraf Ghani, has been tampering with the process. I mean, it gives people a real sense of disillusionment that even if they can get the security, the vote still won't be as free and fair as it should.
That is true, sadly. Fraud and rigging remains a major concern for the people of Afghanistan. I think security is not a major problem for the voters, as rigging and tampering with the system is a concern for the voters in the country. The government and also the commissions have taken some measures and steps to ensure the transparency and the credibility of the election, but taking into account the previous experiences of the elections in Afghanistan, the presidential elections in 2014, the parliamentary election, and even before that, we had cases of fraud in a major scale and crisis in the country, which led to the establishment of the unity government in the 2014. Those are some of the experiences which are alive in the minds of the voters and also in the minds of the candidates, and there have been certain claims that the playing field was not that level for all the candidates. But despite all those concerns, we are hoping that the election commissions take the necessary measures to provide the right environment for the voters of the country, and we are hoping to have a credible and transparent elections with the outcome acceptable to all candidates.
Okay, Mujib Rahimi, live from Kabul there. Thank you so much for joining us.